Welcome back to Ozarks Fox AM. It is always a great day when we get to see Ethan and Sarah Forhetz of Convoy of Hope, one of the beneficiaries of our Putting the Ozarks First, Help Feed Our Neighbors. First of all, great to see you this morning. Thank you for getting up for us.
Always good to see you
I did spill coffee, but the good news is it wasn't up here. It was down here. That's how my day's going so far.
So, Grant, make sure you're shooting from waist up, please. Thanks.
It's a floral print. You can't tell.
You can't tell. It looks good.
So, guys, we're so appreciative of all the work that you do. And today we're really focusing on local.
Yep.
With Price Cutter, local matters. And we know at Convoy you do a lot of stuff globally, but you also care about our local community.
Yeah, we're trying to get the word out about what we do locally. Just last year, for example, we had 262 distributions locally that you probably didn't hear about, but we were doing them, giving out food and other items to people who need them. So in total, it was almost 3 million pounds of supply that was handed out in bags just like these to people who need them all around the Ozarks. It's great.
Churches, government agencies, all different sorts of entities that help others. We help them help others. You tracking with me?
Yeah, I got you now. I got you. I was going to ask next. I was like, what's the process?
That's the process, yeah. So it's kind of cool. I was in a really small town in Missouri, like kind of outside of our area, but it was neat to watch how the diaper banks, the food banks there in that local town got their product from us.
That's amazing. I didn't know.
Not me.
Yeah.
Not you.
I didn't know.
Yeah, that is
No,
amazing.
you do.
So how are things as in terms of need for this year? Is it different?
Yeah, the need is growing because our dollar is worth less. That's true for every family, every business, and even Convoy of Hope. We can do less because diesel prices are at a record high. The cost of groceries is at a record high. So it's difficult for everybody right now, including charities. If we had the same amount of money we had last year to spend to help people, we would be able to do less.
Right.
Just right out of the gate. So it just makes it difficult. But we've got very generous donors who understand the situation, and those who are able to give do give, and we just so appreciate that.
Oh, that is wonderful.
Ethan is the numbers guy. Talk about the diesel prices. How many miles did we drive? A lot.
We drove last year, our trucks drove 667,000 miles, which is almost 27 times around the Earth at the equator. It's a lot of coffee and CB banter. You know what I mean?
CB banter.
10 for over and out.
Hear me on there.
All right, Roger, this is Rape the Babe. Gotcha.
He's already got his
I've already got
hand
my
up.
hand on Rape the Babe. There you go.
Are you
But-
for real? Of course you
Guys,
are.
get it together over here. We're talking about serious issues.
Sorry.
I can actually just hear it right now, though.
But we're news people, so we can't do the math. But for anybody who can do the math, the rate at which gas prices have increased, it costs us 20 cents more per mile this year than it did at this time last year for us. So that adds up really quickly. If you're taking a 1,200-mile trip, it's $600 more, right? Just like that.
Yeah, it really does.
It's such a huge impact because you think about it, like I know I fill up my car, but then you have to think about all of the big semi-trucks who are taking product across the country to help those, especially in our area too. It adds up.
It was $4.19 yesterday, the average price for a gallon of gas. Diesel hit an all-time high yesterday for the very first time. Yikes.
Yeah.
But people still need it, so you still get it there. You know what I
Right.
mean? And 'tis by the grace of God, we are.
Right.
But like Ethan said, I mean, for everyone, not just Convoy, but the dollar does not go quite as far.
Right, exactly. So do the best we can, guys. Everybody's feeling it. But like you say, there's a lot of generous people in this area. And if you can't afford it, maybe do just a little extra.
Yeah, I mean, what you guys are doing for us through Price Cutter is really fantastic. I mean, these groceries will go to people in the Ozarks. It will allow us to do what we did last year and more. And that's what we need to do because the need is growing.
Right.
More people need it this year than last year, unfortunately, because of the price of groceries and gas. So we just want to do all that we can. And this is a great way that helps us to do that. So thank you.
Yeah,
So I'm
absolutely.
curious too
We
about the
love it.
process because you were talking about the process because I sometimes can't understand how Convoy gets everything to everybody. So today
Yeah.
people can buy these bags, $5 and $10 bags. It helps Convoy of Hope.
Right.
Where does it go from there?
It goes to those in need at least of these at different food pantries. So we're supplying pantries that supply
Other
people.
pantries.
Gotcha.
Okay,
Yes,
got you.
Okay.
because we're bigger and we have, which just because we've been around longer, you know, but there's all of these amazing agencies. I'm thinking of the one in Christian County that I've been to a lot. Least of these is that one, right? Right by the Brahms there.
Yes.
And it's just neat because I've been in there multiple times with my children taking stuff. And it's like, they are getting some of their product from Convoy. And it's just neat to see that. I mean, until Ethan came along, they didn't really talk about what they did locally too much. He's trying to change that.
Well, you went to
noble
Iberia,
cause,
and
yeah.
we do a lot of rural communities too. And
Yeah,
you made a
yeah.
big
In
distribution
Iberia, for instance, which is a tiny little town in Missouri. Some of you will know it, but like there, I mean, it was like the OCAC. It was the school. We gave shoes through a partnership with Tom's. Everybody got new shoes. Like just cool things that
It
we don't
happens all the
necessarily
time.
get the credit for, which is okay, sort of. But we want you to know so that.
That's kind of our job.
Right,
Yeah.
right. That's why they hired us, to tell you about it. So, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the process is that we help those who help others.
The community, yeah.
Right.
So you're
Yeah.
kind of like that man's like, here it
Supply.
is. Yeah, supply to those food banks,
To
and then the
local
people are
churches,
affected.
Food banks, and let them help their neighbors because they're in those. I mean, there's a church in Iberia and the OCAC in Iberia that helps those people, and then the people recognize the people who are giving it out. We just supply it.
Well, and that's the thing. It's a whole chain of events of how it goes. They put it together at Price Cutter. We buy that. It's
a
a whole.
team.
It's a whole team effort. Absolutely.
It really is. So
I've heard
thank
it
you.
say it takes a village, and it does.
Who said that?
I don't remember.
I know
Hillary Clinton.
I did.
I knew that.
There you go. I
Trivia.
didn't know.
Some trivia. Just some fun trivia.
Fun trivia for you.
You know?
You guys-
You could do it.
You guys are so smart.
Jeremy used to correct me all the time on food words.
I love food.
When you were talking about the fancy treats a while ago,
Yeah.
I'm like,
He does that to me too, Sarah. He does that a lot. Yeah.
Croissant.
Actually, he did it
Croissant.
the other day to you, and I was laughing. I
yeah,
saw you
Sarah's
guys
like,
when
I-
was watching
Yeah, he
it.
does
I
a lot.
identify with that. Thanks, guys. Thanks a lot.
I say thanks a lot. Yeah.
Sarah and Ethan, thank you guys so much for what
Thank
you do.
you.
We do appreciate,
appreciate
you
you
being
guys.
pillars of our community and helping out the way that you do. We
Thank
really
you
do.
so much.
Well, thanks for giving us time. We appreciate it, and thanks for this incredible fundraiser.
Okay. We'll be back, guys, right after this.
You called me out, Sarah.
You did it.